A friend of mine called up last week, a lad called Bob. One of Bob's hobbies is he makes small steam engines. He's made this one. It's actually an air cylinder, an air actuator cylinder that he's used to build this engine around. Running quite happily there on 5 psi compressed air. Runs very nice, very smooth. One thing about Bob is he hasn't got a milling machine, so anything you see here that isn't round or made on a lathe is being filed by hand. And then there's very big other There's a selection of high-speed steel tool in here, some tool blanks, some already ground, nice big centre drill, and some long series twist drills. These came from a friend of Mick's, a gentleman called Stanley Challenger Graham. Stanley has his own blog site. Stanley does a lot with steam engines. He makes big model steam engines from castings. I'll put a link onto his blog. It's certainly well worth a look. He also sent up some other items which I'll include in the next video because they are very interesting. There's a cardboard box containing these. That bit there is actually made of bronze and that bit there is wood. Now what these are, they go that way up. They're actually oilers for line shafting. There'd be a glass in there and you'd pour your oil in and that would be threaded and screwed onto your shaft. That bit there is actually the core mould to cast the core to make that hollow part. So these are actually the finished castings and that's the pattern to make the core. These are old, they're obviously very old. Stanley did say that they were clearing an old foundry out and these either he took them or they got thrown away. I've cleaned the corner of that one up there, and you can see they're actually brass or bronze. But they've no real use to me, so I think what I'll do with them, there's one or two industrial museums around the area, I'll see if they want them so they can be put on display. I mean, I could melt them down and cast them into something else, but it would be a crying shame to see them destroyed. So that's what I'll do. I'll give them to probably a local museum and they can put them on display. These are the actual wooden patterns. Quite nicely made patterns. Very old. You can see they've got all the angles on for the draft. That's made out of pieces glued together. It's actually still got the parting powder on that they use as a mould release. 1.8" diameter core, 3 3/8 long, 20 over. I remember my dad telling us when they cut down your bell end. I remember my dad telling us when they closed a big foundry we had local here, and there was patterns, massive patterns for steam engines and big valves, and all the patterns were sold off for firewood, all smashed up for firewood. As you can see, there's a lot of these patterns. That one looks really old. Some of these I will use. I can use these and I can cast a flywheel. They're all ready to go. Quite nicely made. You can see the draft angle on, so it comes out of the sand. You can see the sand, the releasing sand on them. It's a nice size. Nice size for a flywheel. So at least these will be saved, they won't just get burned. The ones I don't want, I'll take to the industrial museum and they can put them on display, or at least they won't get destroyed anyway. There's also two propellers. That one's actually stainless steel, and this is a casting, a rough casting. Nick's got a friend who has a boat, you'll be able to use that one. And I think this one will probably just stop in my shed as like a discussion piece, or unless anybody's got a use for it. These two castings were also in the box. They're castings for a Model Beam engine. They're very nicely made castings. There's also a drone. This is the drone that came with the castings. It's ME Beam engine. So it'll be Model Engineer Beam engine. October the 1st, 1959. I have got some Model Engineer magazines. I'm sure I've got 1959. I'll have to have a look and see. It'll be nice to see this engine built. I don't think I'll be building it, but I know one or two lads that do fine scale models and they might like to finish it off. Stanley thinks that some of the other castings are still available. We've got the beam, which is this bit, and we've got the main column. The cylinder and the flywheel are castings. The rest could be made from the solid. Anyway, fine looking engine. It would certainly be nice to see it made. He's also sent up a big heavy bucket full of bronze cut, bronze turnings and bronze shavings. He knows for a fact it's all good quality bronze, which I'll be able to melt down and recast. It's quite hard to melt down thin shavings like this, they tend to blow away. What you need to do is put them inside a piece of copper tube and hammer it down so it's nice and compact and tight. Anyway, we'll be able to melt it down and do some more castings and you can make some more engines. Anyway, Stanley, once again, thanks very much. This is a set of castings that I actually did. Factory machined the cylinder. These are going to get sent down to Stanley, and he's going to build the engine. I think he's going to make it into a mill engine. Originally it was a twin cylinder marine engine. My friend Bob, who makes the small engines, is actually going to make the twin cylinder engine. I did castings for him, but Stanley's going to turn this one into a mill engine. Anyway, these will be coming down to you in the next week or so. Thanks once again for all the fine gifts you've sent us. This is a set of cylinder castings for a steam engine. They're actually castings that I did. They're going to be sent down to Stanley, and he's going to make it into a mill engine. The cylinder's actually been bored in the port face machine, so the cylinder's sort of ready to go. These are all the bits and pieces. My friend Bob's also got 2 sets of these castings, and he's building a twin cylinder marine engine. That'll be nice when he gets it finished. Anyway, Stanley, thanks once again for all the bits and pieces you've sent up. These will be coming down to you probably in the next week or so. That's the thread I'm going to put onto there. It's M16x2. So I'm just turning it down to 16mm for the length of the nut, plus a little bit. Right, we're nearly down to size. Give you our last cut. Right, so what I'd say chamfering, the recess put in there for our screw cutting tool to go into. Well, I want just a little recess for the screw cutting tool to finish off in. Slow things down a bit. We'll break these 2 faces with a chamfer tool. I've actually machined the cut here for the thread to drop in the wrong place. I've done it there. It doesn't make any difference, it's just annoying. So I'm going to try to run cameras and machines at the same time. We'll put another one in there. That's deep enough, that's great. Right, I want 2mm pitch, which is that one. And what it says here, change wheels 25, 180, that's what I've got on in the back of there. For lines 2, 3 and 4, which is 2, 3 and 4. So the change wheels are set up correctly to cut the 2/3 of the inch. So we'll line that one up first. Right in the tuners where the levers go. Right hand lever, this one goes across that way. That one that way, that one that way, and that one that way. Right, so 2mm pitch, 2mm, that's lined up with a 2. The tuner is that lever that way, that lever that way, and the right hand lever across that way. That's a gearbox set up to cut 2mm, simple as that. I've got my metric foam tool in here, set on centre height. I've got the compound slide set to 30 degrees, which is half a 60-degree angle. We'll be putting the feed on with the compound slide, doing it properly so to speak. We need to make sure that this tool is square to the job. Easiest way to do that is to put that face there up against the chuck. I've got the tool post slack so it'll move around. Just bring it across and that tool's touching square against the chuck there. Tighten the tool post up and that's it set. The lead screw on this lathe is metric, so I can basically engage the 2mm pitch. I can engage on any line, anywhere I want. On the thread there, it'll pick the thread up. We've got the lathe in a nice slow gear. We'll make everything move away from the job. We'll start the lathe up, engage our lead screw and make sure things are moving in the right direction. That's quite controllable at that sort of rate there. Everything's moving in the right direction. We'll just touch it off. There, we'll zero our cross slide and also zero the DRO as well. Then you put a feed on. Come to the mill. Back it out, back into zero, some more feed, and my thread there indicator's moving now, watch for it coming round, just pick the thread up again. The watch will say what's only cutting on one side of the thread, on the front edge of the thread. That's alright. Right over the shoulder. Excellent.